everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, St. Patrick English School, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. We are privileged to have amongst us India's finest cardiac surgeon, Dr. Yogesh Belapurkar. So get ready to unlock the secrets of a healthy heart. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you
Over
very
to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for calling me out here. This is the first time that I'm being really welcomed straight from the heart. So, madam, you three, I'm not going to compliment because you are the finest and you're bringing this whole school up. So, boys and girls, a round of applause for Khanna ma'am, Rupali ma'am, and ma'am. And of course, a round of applause for Nasir sir because he's coordinating everything. So, let us start this session with compliments because that is good to the heart, right?
Yes, sir.
You agree to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here I am to answer a few questions. Now, normally when we are teachers, we ask questions, but then now I'm on the receiving side. So I hope the boys are not taking exams in a hard way, right?
No,
Ask
sir.
me simple questions. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's start.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, sir. My name is Arnav Karat. I would like to ask few questions to you.
Sure.
My first question is, could you please share some of your personal experience from your school days that you believe have influenced your journey?
Yes, it's been almost 45 years or more that I was at your stage when I joined school. The school was in Mumbai. I've done my education in Mumbai. So, I mean, when you come to school, when you're sitting here, when you're blowing your nose, right? So, suppose I'm going to scold at you. You're going to be a little tense, right?
Yes.
It used to happen to me as well. Even I have taken a bit of scolding and beatings, etc. When I used to come a little late to the school, there was a person who used to stand there, and looking at him, my heart rate used to increase.
Oh.
You have felt that?
Yes.
When you run, your heart rate increases. You
Yes.
realize, duck, 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 duck.
Yes.
But then when you are also scared, your heart rate increases.
Yes, sir.
When there is an exam next day and you go to the exam, sit on the desk and start writing, your heart rate increases.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
That's where I started realizing there is something inside me which I need to know. Okay. So I was too young, too dumb, I can say, but then I realized I have a liking for these things that happen in our day-to-day life. Why does the heart rate increase? Why I am scared? How can I make myself little more fitter? And if you ask me, the teachers at that time, the very good teachers that you have now, and the teachers at that time, this profession we will always respect, right?
Yes.
So in school times, if you ask me what influenced me was those changes in the body that happens, right? You are wearing specs,
No.
isn't it? So if you don't wear, you can see, it's a little difficult. You can't read my name from far off, probably. But then when you wear it, you can. So what is the specs doing? What is the eye doing? Okay, why am I having specs and why is he not having specs? Why are my teeth falling? Why are they growing? These are the questions I used to ask myself when I was a school kid, and these probably pushed me further to explore the field of medicine a little more. And I don't know how much of you will agree, but I hated maths, yaar. I hated maths. Okay, I used to get full marks in maths, but somehow I did not like maths, and that's also a reason why I tried and explored a non-maths field, which was medicine. I hope that answers your question.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for letting the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
My next question to you is, in your opinion, how do experiences and lessons learned during the one school day contribute to the holistic development and in adulthood?
Yes, because in school, when you join school, we are all raw as in nothing has influenced us more. It is only the parents who have influenced.
Yes.
But till entering school, you don't have friends, and then once you join school, you have a lot of friends who keep on influencing you. You have teachers who keep on telling you. You are exposed to a different world. I'm sure you have all realized it, right?
Yes.
Suddenly there is studies to be done, there is a field or matches to be won, and then you have homeworks to be done, and then you have friends to celebrate, and then you have parents to listen to, brothers, etc., right? A holistic approach, that's really a big question that you are asking, and this is all for to all the school children or everyone in this field. Remember one thing, if you want to take something from me today, do not compete. Okay? I don't want to confuse you. Look, the person who tops
Yes.
does not have competition. He is topping. The person who comes last, he also does not have competition. Come on, he is going to be last. He does not have a competition.
Yeah.
The people in between are the ones who are troubled. Why is the first person coming first? Because he is liking it, he has passion for it, he is working. Of course, hard work everyone puts in, but he loves what he is doing, and probably that's why he is coming first.
Yes.
If I am not mistaken, the first coming person will always compete with only one person, himself. He will compete with himself and come first. Then what's with the last person? The last person, he is exploring a world outside which he is loving, and he does not want to waste time in studying.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why he is last. He is last doesn't mean he is bad. So there is no competition for him to the world that he is exploring outside. You don't know about it. Okay? But that's where he is. So the first and the last are the lucky guys.
Yeah.
But in between guys are the ones who are troubled. What happens is you tend to compete with each other. I want to be faster than him, I want to be faster, I want to be quicker, I want to be more brainy, I want to be recognized, I want everyone to praise me. No, that is a message to everyone. Look, every person of you, every one of you are going to find your own fields. Okay? Not all of you want to be cardiac surgeons at this moment in time. I'm a heart surgeon. Okay, I just do some small work, but maybe not all of you are wanting to do it. Lawn tennis professor, sir, lawn tennis he plays very well. So his idol probably is Djokovic. Okay, so you might have your own fields of interest and try to pursue them. Holistic approach will start from the mind. And in mind, do not allow negative thoughts like competition to enter. This is a message that I want to put in you right now. Do not compete with each other in a bad way. Take it only in a positive way. Then, of course, the holistic approaches will include the physical fitnesses, the social behaviors, etc. That is what we will come to. But to achieve all this, you will have to have a very good and a clear, focused idea in your mind. Okay? I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, sir. My next question. As a doctor, have you observed any correlations between the quality of someone's childhood experiences and their physical and mental health issues in adulthood? And if so, how can we address these issues proactively in educational settings?
Okay, that's a big question.
Yeah.
So, as a doctor, what do I see? Now I am senior enough where I have seen other doctors being produced as well. I work in a place called MGM where there are many students like you who have passed their 10th exams, 12th exam and joined MBBS course or medical course to become doctors. So I have seen them becoming doctors as well, and I have followed many school children who have now grown up. In fact, I take pride to tell you that there are a few of my patients who have become doctors. So I've seen them grow over a period of time. So what do I see? what kind of students would usually become doctors? For being a doctor, the first thing you need is compassion. You need that loving attitude or a caring attitude. Okay. So caring attitude usually comes from the elder sibling to the younger sibling. Like if you have a younger brother or a sister, you are more caring. Chances are you might become a doctor. Okay. Or else if you have pets in and around your house, okay, you are loving the pets.
Yeah.
It might be any pet. It may not be a domestic pet who has been kept officially. It might be just a cat who is roaming around, a kitten who is playing around, or just a bird which comes and drinks some water or something like that. So if you like observing these animals, again, man is also an animal. I'm sure all of you agree,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
So if you sort of have a caring attitude towards something that is living, okay? Animals are living. You don't have a caring attitude to this table right now, do you? टूट गया तो टूट गया ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है ना? So if you have a caring attitude to something that is living in and around you, then there is a high chance that you would love the medical field. If you are passionate about electrical items, moving items, motors, cars, there is a chance you might have there is a chance you might become sort of an engineering field. Then if you love eating, you might become a culinary specialist or something like that. But if you ask me who becomes a doctor, a person who is more with an attitude of loving and caring becomes a doctor is what I have seen.
Yeah.
And that should be, teachers obviously observe these things more, and they should be, if you ask me, your question was what can be done.
Yes.
These should be nurtured by everyone. The person who is doing, who is loving it, and the person, like you will have friends, if she is loving a cat and he hates cats, you are trying to feed the cat milk and he might come and kick the cat. Okay, I'm sorry to use these words, it's not supposed to be, but then that should not decrease your love towards the cat, and you should not hate him. Okay, he does not love the cat, that's why he's doing it, that's his problem. But if you are loving the cat, go ahead and feed it, care for it. You might further on become a good big doctor. Okay. So nurturing your liking is the next message that I would give you. Whatever you like should be taken care of and should be taken very seriously. Okay. Be serious in what you like. And I'm sure you should like what is positive, don't like what is negative in this world. Yes. Right? Yes. And what can be done is those fields, that is why school is the place where you have opportunities for everything. If you want to become a sports person, there is a person who will guide you towards being a sports person. If you want to be a YouTuber, yes, there is a person who is going to guide you. Yeah. Okay. If you want to be a literalist person, Khanna ma'am is going to teach you everything about language. Okay. So you should be clear in what you like. There are 10 menus in front of you, but you should know. Yeah. You want idli today, you want chicken today, you want pulses today, you want a cake today. What do you want? But whatever you want, be serious about it. Don't keep on hopping. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
It was indeed a very important message, sir. Thank you, sir.
My name is Zobia.
What motivated you to specialize in cardiovascular surgery?
Well, it's a matter of the heart, and everyone knows what a heart is, right? Yes. It's just something like this that goes on beating, isn't it? So, what motivated me? As I said, first motivation was to become a doctor, out of which, of course, there was this caring attitude and wanting to explore the body within. Because as you know, do you know how many cells, body is made up of cells? You have studied the cells? How many cells do you have in the body? 3 trillion. Trillion is a huge number. Huge number. We are all made up of cells. So, exploring this body was something really fascinating as exploring the world. Have you gone to Mumbai? Have you gone to Pune? That's a world you are exploring. Have you gone to Prozon? Yes, you have. That's a world you are exploring. Similarly, I tried to explore the world inside. I went into the liver, I went into the lungs, I went into the kidneys, and I explored all of them. And I found a different world everywhere. So the caring attitude and the desire to explore was what made me a doctor to start with. And of course, the hating to maths. Okay, I hated maths. So that was why I became a doctor in the first place. When I became a doctor, initially I was a very flamboyant doctor, and I was involved in treating all the injuries. Like, you have heard of a few accidents. I'm sure, I don't want that, but you have seen a few injuries amongst your own self. किसी का पैर कुछ कट गया, किसी का छिल गया. So you have injuries, right? So initially I was involved in treating all the injuries, and I loved that field as well. There were some brain injuries, skull injuries, there were broken bones, everything in the body. मालूम है ना 350 टाइप की तो सिर्फ हड्डियां हैं. This is a dialogue in Munna Bhai. So I was fascinated in repairing all these and working out there. Then there were other surgeries that I explored, and then I realized my true passion was operating on the heart. Because if I am to be a car mechanic, I would like to repair the engine. You know what I mean? There is a car and there is an engine. So if I can repair the engine, the tires can be changed, the lights can be changed, but engine is only one. You have never heard of an engine being replaced inside the car, right? So engine repairing is something. We are all born with, most of us, almost every one of us is born with only one heart, right? So that heart, the disease of the heart, the treatment of the heart, and the satisfaction of repairing the heart, these three things explored. When I explored these three things, I realized this is what I want, and that's where I decided to become a cardiac surgeon. I've been in this cardiac surgery field for the last 25 years, and believe me, my enthusiasm towards cardiac surgery even today is exactly the same that it was 25 years back. None of you were born. Okay, but I still love the heart even right now, right today. Okay, so what motivated me was the liking, the passion of repairing hearts. I hope that answers.
Thank you for your valuable insight, sir. My next question to you is, in the current scenario, the risk of heart attacks and sudden death is due to heart failure has increased individuals aged 30 to 45. What is the reason and how to cope up or avoid it?
Very nice question, because yes, as ma'am in introduction told about me that I was in New Zealand and Australia for 1 year. The incidence of heart attack and heart disease there was much less than what I've seen in India. The age there was around 70 or 80 years, because with time things are going to deteriorate, right? So the heart is also going to degenerate, the joints are going to degenerate, the eyes are going to degenerate. So all these things with age are expected. But as you said, between 30 and 40, that is what is happening nowadays. So why is this happening? I'm sure you are not aware, but statistically proven in America, and America has much less disease than what India has. Statistically in America, there is a heart attack happening every 40 seconds, right? So if we have started talking for the last 15 minutes, probably there are more than 200 people who have had heart attacks. As we talk, there is someone having a heart attack. Okay, this is in America. In India, I'm sure it is even more. In India, let us assume, even if we take reasonably, there is a heart attack happening every 20 seconds, and that is very bad. It was not so many years back. Yes, it is happening now much more rampantly. Heart disease is killing people more than anything else, And in age group 30 to 40, this unfortunately is true. Just 2 days back, I have operated one person whose age is 30, and there are two waiting to be operated. Their ages are 29 and 34. When I joined, the average age in India, at least, bless you beta, in India at least was 60 or 70 years, but now it has come down to 50 years. I am operating a lot of patients who are 50 years old. So in age 30, 40 is a prime age where you are trying to settle your family. You have kids who are growing. Like I'm sorry, but your parents are now at least 40 years. Okay, 30, between 30 and 40,
Yes.
right? I'm older. My kids are more older than you. But your parents are around 30, 40, isn't it?
Yes.
Does any one of us here want us or our parents to have a heart attack?
No.
No. A big no, isn't it?
Yes.
So then you need to find out why this is happening. And when you hear it from a heart surgeon's mouth, you know it is true. Okay? So listen to me very carefully, boys and girls. The factors that are causing heart disease to happen early, which was not there, is stress. Number one. Okay, it is called as A, B, C, D, E. A is anxiety or stress, and that is definitely more. Initially in medicine, we used to think stress acts by increasing blood pressure or increasing blood sugar, but now it has been proven that stress acts directly on the heart. That's why my first message to you was, do not compete. It's going to create stress, isn't it?
Yes.
But and that is for you, but for viewers and everyone, you have to find out your own methods of not taking stress. It is easier said than done. Second is to counter stress. These two are independent things. Not taking stress is an attitude thing, and it takes really a different line to go through that. This is where I would request teachers not to create stress to start with. Okay? Am I creating a stressful atmosphere here?
No.
No, right? So that is what I mean. Do not create stress. Do not take stress. Secondly, counter stress. Okay, counter as in, okay, you have had a stressful day. So what do? Go and see at home Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Do you guys see Tom and Jerry? They're lovely, right? Takes your stress away. Do you listen to music? Little bit of music, kuch bhi, that takes your stress away. Okay? So you have to find out ways and means that will counter your stress. So in 30 and 40, are you giving stress to your parents?
No.
No. You're acting like good boys and girls? Very nice. That is what you should do. Then your parents will be healthy. And you have seen that, you have heard it from a surgeon, you will realize that this is important, right? So don't take stress, don't give stress, counter your stress if there is any. That's the A part. B is blood pressure. You have heard the word blood pressure?
Yes.
Yes. So everyone needs to check, not you, but above 30, everyone needs to check their blood pressures and keep them under control, because blood pressure is called as a silent killer. It does not announce till it has almost killed. Okay? It is like you're sitting on a blood pressure and then it blasts, isn't it? So blood pressure needs to be checked. You have to keep checking. Are blood pressure hai kya? Isn't it? Easier way to explain. So blood pressure is something that needs to be kept under control. C is cigarette smoking, which includes all addictions. Do you smoke?
No.
No. Keep this attitude all through your life. When you become 40, I'm going to be there. I'm going to ask you, do you smoke? Your answer will be?
No.
In the same method it will be. No, I don't smoke. And I will never. Isn't it? So C means cigarette smoking and all addictions. It means cigarette, tobacco, drugs. I know this is the worst thing that is happening nowadays. All kind of dirty addictions. By the way, I'm very happy, madam, that there is not a single obese person out here. Because even food is an addiction. Do not have food as an addiction. Need and greed. You understand? You need to eat only this much, but just because you are seeing it, don't be greedy. Don't eat too much just because it is tasty. Okay? So eat only as much required. So no addictions is C. D is diabetes. Diabetes, you have heard the word diabetes? Means sugar. And to counter sugar, you need to eat the right amount of food. Probably we'll come to that a little later. There might be a question on it. So eating is what is going to prevent diabetes. E is exercise. How much should you exercise? Are you exercising?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Exercise morning.
What? Running, jogging, dancing, what? Running.
And cycling.
Yes, that's very good. So these exercises on a personal level and on a school level, both are important. That's why we have a 1 hour period of exercise. Okay. So E is exercise, which is important as well. So D diabetes, D diet, E exercise. If we check all these A, B, C, D, E, then you will not have heart disease, heart attack at the age 30 or 40. You might have it at the age of 70 or 80, but that is okay. That is accepted. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for your guidance, sir. My name is Krish. My question to you is continuous learning is crucial in medicine. How do you engage in ongoing professional development to enhance your skills and knowledge?
Yes, that's a nice question, beta. Because newer things keep on happening, right?
Yes.
You are what you call Gen Z, Generation Z as they call it, newer generation. And then there were millennials and there were generations behind, right? So in everything there are, when you are studying now, you have some E methods, you have laptops, you have iPads, okay. Mobile obviously is something that is very commonly used now. We didn't use mobiles, right? So changes keep on happening. You have to be aware of the changes because that is the only thing that will lead to progress. You have heard the word change is the only constant, right? Changes will keep on happening. You cannot rigidly say, no, I'm not going to use a mobile. Can you say nowadays? No, everyone, because this is the change that has happened. But I'm sure many of you are also going to be fathers and mothers and you're going to have kids. Are you going to tell your kids not to use mobile? No. Mobiles and electronic media and internet and World Wide Web, everything is going to there. Look, I'm reaching to you through this. Okay. So changes are always there. In every field there will be changes. Look, I told you there are 3 trillion cells in the body. And even as doctors, we do not yet know completely as to why these things happen. Well, you are old enough now to know that there was something called corona.
Yes.
Right? Did doctors know corona was going to come?
Yes.
We knew after it came. Did we know beforehand? No. So there are things that the medical field yet does not know. So we need to keep on learning, keep on updating ourselves, keep on upgrading ourselves, isn't it? Even with your field, if your field is, do you like football?
Yes.
So Champions League, what's your favorite team? Any? Argentina on a worldwide, yes. So Argentina are the World Cup winners, right? Do you know where football is made? Yes, there is a country, our neighbor.
Brazil.
Yes, Brazil is one, and our neighbor Pakistan also makes good footballs. Okay. So, did I not increase your knowledge? Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
And of course, if you hate your enemy, think this is Pakistan and kick it. Isn't it? Simple way, right? We are Indians, isn't it? I'm sorry, YouTubers are going to reach everywhere. I don't mean it in a bad way. But yes, I'm just trying to upgrade the knowledge and the importance of knowledge. So your question was, beta, do we need to keep on upgrading? Yes, we need to, because now newer and newer techniques are happening about repairing and doing good to the heart. Let me talk about the heart. There are something called as stents. Newer and newer stents are being placed inside. There are surgeries happening. There are, you have heard of robos? robotic surgeries are being done. So now the robots are assisting. The surgeon sits outside and his hands have sensors, and the robo inside has small tubes which operate inside. Okay, it's a nice thing because the surgeon can be anywhere. I can sit in India and operate a person in America, isn't it? Yes. Because the internet is that fast. So this is something that I need to learn. I am in the process. I had gone to a conference where I played game as well. You play games,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I also played a little bit with the robotic. It was a simulation, and there they allowed me to actually move my hand, and the robotic arm was twisting and doing a surgery on a model. So if I am learning this today, when you grow up, one of you is going to be a cardiac surgeon. One of you, कोई तो हाँ बोलो यार,
Yes.
right? So maybe when you grow up and become cardiac surgeons, robotics are going to be there. Maybe you will be controlling the robo and robo will be operating, isn't it? So you have to keep that knowledge with you. For that you have to have the computer knowledge, but also the knowledge of the heart, also the knowledge of the coronary arteries, also the knowledge of, because unfortunately heart disease is going to be there. I don't see an end of heart disease yet, even when they become all old. Okay? Because at least half of them are not going to listen to me. They are going to eat what they want. They are going to take stress. They are going to do bad things, isn't it? Nahi na?
No.
No. So keep that no. If you do, then yes, there will be patients of heart disease even when you grow old. So you have to keep on updating yourself every day in every field, not just heart, not just medicine, even maths. Like you have heard of Nobel Prizes, right? There were Nobel Prizes being awarded. These were awarded to people who are researching and doing good things. So if you have your field, try and develop newer and newer things which will help the humanity, which will help people all over the world. Okay?
Thanks for enlightening us, sir. My next question to you is, can you discuss your experience in training and mentoring junior surgeons or medical students?
Yes, that's a nice question, because now suppose I want to teach you to drive a car. Okay.
Yes.
What am I going to do? Straight away give a car in your hand and drive?
No.
But then unfortunately, that is what we did when we learned. I'm sorry to use these words, but then these were the things of the past. We trained ourselves on patience. Okay. So that's where I am blessed to have very good teachers who, under their responsibilities, under their guidance, allowed me to train on patients. They were taking all the responsibilities, but I was like, it is like me teaching you to drive, but I am taking the responsibility.
Yes.
I am telling you to do it. Go ahead, do it. Of course, you shouldn't do it. That's not the right way to do it. That's why nowadays you have simulators. That's why nowadays you have 3D and online modes of teaching and learning. And these are very good. Even you know what a pilot does, right? He flies planes.
Yes.
And there are flying simulators,
Yes.
right? Okay. So similarly, if you ask me, mentoring and teaching nowadays has become a little organized or structured. I had got a model and I knew that students would not correlate well with the models. So I made one of the student lie down as a patient and the other student as actions of CPR. I did not make him give CPR. That's where the students realize that yes, we can also give. You have heard the word CPR? No, you have. Oh, I'm very impressed. That's when someone's heart stops and then you pump it and bring it to life again. Okay. So I had given that training, and then after a few months I had a call as well from Cambridge. Thank you, sir. My husband had a heart attack and my daughter who was there, she gave CPR. So that was the fact that these things are very useful. Okay, that is how I believe in teaching. So teaching nowadays is on dummies, is on we have a proper laboratory in MGM where they have these models called as mannequins, and on them you can actually cut, operate, put tubes in, put IV lines in, puncture, give injections. You can shout at him if you want to. I'm just kidding. But this is not the training that we give. But then, yes, these are the parts of our mentoring. So, if you ask me, yes, there are students who visit my operation theatre and I tell them what heart surgery is about. They learn many things from me. And these are practical training which are more influencing than just the theory part. So now you are reading questions and you are listening, but you have heard what I'm saying, right? There is a difference between listening and hearing. Okay. So you have heard, you are remembering what I told you. Okay. So this is important. When I teach someone, it is important that that person is also learning, and that is how an exchange of knowledge happens. I hope that answers.
It's interesting. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom.
My pleasure.
Good morning, sir. My name is Arav. My question to you is, what advice do you have for individuals to maintain good heart health and prevent cardiovascular diseases?
That's a very nice question, Arnav. What is the name? Is it
Arav.
Arav, not Arnav. Arav. So, what is my suggestion for a good and a healthy heart? What do you want to become when you grow old? Anything you can tell. That may not be your final answer, but what do you want to become?
Veterinary doctor.
Yes. So you want to become a veterinary doctor. Have you heard of a lion or a horse having heart attack?
No.
He's running and suddenly he falls down on the ground having a heart attack. Have you ever seen that anywhere? Why does he not have a heart attack? Isn't it? That is the first thing that you will learn, which will keep yourself healthy. And if you are healthy, then you can keep everyone else healthy. Isn't it?
Yes.
So, your question is related to what I was telling about. What can you do to prevent? Why does a lion does not have a heart attack? Okay. Why does an elephant does not have a heart? Elephant is nice, huge, big guy, but it does not have a heart attack, right?
Yes.
It's not because they don't wear clothes, right? Obviously, we know that. So, lion runs very fast, very fast. You know what kind of a training that is called as? High intensity training, HIIT, it's called. So, suddenly increasing your heart rate. If I make you jump, skip right now, your heart rate will increase, right? Yes. So, as children, you should involve yourself in exercise which will increase your heart rate. That will prevent heart attacks. Okay. Now, what does a lion eat? Non-vegetarian. So, for vegetarians, he's a ganda creature, isn't he? He's not, because he's a God's gift. What does an elephant eat? Vegetarian, right? So, it is not the vegetarian or the non-vegetarian food which is important. Have you ever seen lion eat much more than what he needs? No. They don't eat excess. Have you ever seen elephant eating something that is nicely packed in a package and sold out to him? No. So eating natural food is my first advice. Do not throw away packed foods as of today. Anything that comes in a packet, it's not good for you. So exercise that we talked about already is important. What you eat is also tremendously important. How much? I place the importance of food to almost 60 to 70% and exercise as 30%. Both are incomplete without each other. You cannot have only exercise, only then you will be only 30% fit. You cannot have only diet, then you will be only 70% fit. You have to have both. So keep your diet and exercise in an ideal way. What's an ideal way? Exercise is minimum 30 minutes a day for people your parents' age, 30 onwards. For you, minimum 1 hour a day exercise. So you're cycling and you're running, that's very good. So 1 hour a day exercise for children, say up to 20 or 25. From 25 to 30 onwards till they are whatever 100, 30 minutes is compulsory. So exercise every day is compulsion, not an option. Okay. So and there are very easy means. What does an exercise mean? Just walking. What age did you learn walking? 1 year? 1 year? Isn't it? So we learn walking at the first year in our life and we then forget about it. Anywhere we want to go nearby, the first thing we do is have two wheels under our bottom and then go there. Okay. So walking, nowadays the watches have step counter. Yes, 10,000 steps. It is so easy to say 10,000. But I mean, you boys and girls, but many of our viewers, we know that when we go overseas as tourists, we walk a lot. And if we take a count there our steps are 10,000. But when we are at home, which is for 98% of our lives, our walking is hardly 2,000 steps, 1,000 steps. That is not enough unless you are gymming in some way, cardio, weight trainings, etc., etc. So exercise is not an option. If you want to survive, you will have to exercise. I don't want a remark, "Arey, heart attack aa gaya." Obviously, he was not exercising. Okay, that heart attack is a culmination of your errors that you have been doing for the last so many years. So exercise is number one and diet is number two. If you keep diet and exercise, diet is, as we know now, updating knowledge, updating science, carbohydrates are bad. Carbohydrates are very bad. The chocolates, the biscuits, these are bad things. Don't. At your age, maybe you do need a little bit of carbohydrates. In school children, to some extent, yes. But the unfortunate part is, when you allow things in school children, it becomes a habit. So that is where you should cut. So don't have biscuits more than what you would have other things. So carbohydrates are bad. Proteins, and proteins. You have heard the word proteins?
Yes.
So our food is made up of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and vitamins and minerals. Right?
Nutrients.
Yes, nutrients they are called. Perfect, beta. So proteins are very important and we need to increase our proteins. That is, you are aware that there are some games called as Asian Games happening, right? So who are these athletes? They are good, nice people like us, and we are winning. India is getting more and more medals, gold medals, silver medals, right? That is because they are trained in a good way in exercise and diet. So today itself, you all will go home and find out how much and what proteins you are having. Whatever form, I want you to have proteins in a huge amount. Okay, just grams, pulses, dal, whatever, like kardanya, anything. These are good protein sources for vegetarians. Almonds, walnuts, these are very good sources. So, and non-vegetarian, obviously, their fish is by far. Do you know which country is the healthiest in the world? Japan. Okay, why? Because they have a lot of protein, which is seafood.
Yes.
Japanese eat a lot of fish.
Yes.
You have heard the word sushi,
Yes.
right? So sushi has more fish, little bit of rice and some nice vegetables on it. That is a very ideal way. But then even nowadays there are vegans and vegetarian Japanese who are living the same number of years. That is because they have very good diet pattern, they have exercise and they work hard. Okay, so if we in India want to live long, we will have to watch what we eat. Proteins will have to be increased. Carbohydrates, there are two types of carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates. Simple is the chocolates and biscuits, these are no. Complex carbohydrates are there in some amount of fruits, etc., which needs to be increased. And then in fats you have the the saturated and the unsaturated fats. They are, both are bad, but out of which saturated fats are very bad. Oils, there is virgin oil and some types of other oils which are good, and these, the information of all this is very much available on the net. Should find out, but the importance of diet is what I'm stressing. Look, veterinary doctor, your cat and dog is not going to die of a heart attack, isn't it? So don't feed the dog your chips and biscuits. Feed him nice, good, healthy things. Okay.
Pet food.
Pet food. Pet food has more proteins. Okay. So I hope that answers your question.
That's the need of an hour, sir. Thank you, sir. What challenges do you foresee for the generations Z and Gen Alpha?
Everything that is good in this world also has the bad part of it. I mentioned mobiles. Did I not? Right? It's good, giving you knowledge. But what has it done? It has spoiled your eyes. Are you aware? Okay, I'm happy that only one is having a specs. But then Corona was the time which was really bad because everyone was at home. Everyone was watching mobile. Everyone was watching TV. You had nothing else to do. So, has Corona gone away? Yes. Have you changed? Probably not yet. Why are you not going out? Why are you still stuck to the mobile? Why are you playing games on the mobile? Okay. That is the problem with generation Z and Alpha and much more beta, theta, delta, whatever to come from there on. That this body, you have a body, right? Every one of us has a body. Do you know how many years it has taken from an animal or say for a monkey, from a monkey to develop into a human being?
Thousands.
Lakhs, 4 lakh years. Okay. 4 lakh years your body has been developed. How has it been developed? Because of the nature around, right?
Yes.
So the nature wanted us to see well, so it gave us eyes. Nature wanted us to think, so it gave us brain. Okay. If you know your grandparents have very good memory,
Yes.
right? Do you think you have that good a memory? परसों क्या खाया था कुछ याद है? नहीं. नेम्स चीजें हाँ मैडम ने सिखाया याद है क्योंकि वो जरूरी है. बट इफ यू आस्क मी, डू यू नो द फोन नंबर्स? Each other's phone numbers, do you remember by heart? Only mom, dad, brother, that's it, isn't it? But our generation, we knew the phone numbers. There were at least, if I'm not wrong, at least 40 to 50 phone numbers we had by heart. So challenges what are happening is, why they are happening is the first process that I was thinking. We are going against nature. Yes, our brain will develop. What are we now developing? We are adding chips in our brains, neural links. These are helping us to improve our memory. But our body has taken. Do you want a human not to exist and only androids and robots to exist?
No.
No. Why? Because we are human beings. Don't you realize? Right? And we are here to survive. We are all going to survive. We all want to survive. That is the challenge that is now going to face you, because there are many things that you are doing are against nature. Our body has been made to walk, run, eat in the right amounts. We are not doing it. Our body has been made to remember and develop from within, which we are not doing. Our body needs good oxygen, healthy atmosphere, good society. We are not doing. So the challenge is that what I foresee in the generation Z, Alpha and later on is their over dependence on electronic media. I'm sorry to use this, but this is the way I'm reaching to you all. But then the over dependence. Do not see this video just because it's there. See this video and take something out of it. Okay, this is tremendously important. This is what I want to pass on. Your challenge is to forget what Belapurkar said and bas khatam. This is only the day. This is the talk that we are having. We are having a nice chat and then forget everything about it. Go home and start eating and not exercising. That's not the way. This is your challenge. Your challenge is going to be patience. Okay. So the first challenge that I see in your generation is lack of patience. You guys do not have patience to do. You like something for now. You are like the butterfly trying to jump into everything. Have patience. Know what you like and develop yourself and build yourself into it. You're liking asking questions, you're liking listening to it. Call me more often, I'll come here, isn't it? अच्छा लग रहा है ना? Genuinely अच्छा लग रहा है ना?
Yes.
So we'll talk about it, right? So you should know what you want. Your challenge number 1 is over dependence on the electronic media. Challenge number 2 is patience. Challenge number 3 is keeping this body healthy. I change the sequence because if you know it in the mind, then it will happen in the body. And that is where I want to reach you, because I want to stress the importance of mind first. If there is something in your mind, only then it will come in your body. If you know where to say no, then you will not overeat. If you know this is the only time that I will spend on my mobile, that is where you will exercise. Okay, so developing your mind is one thing, and that, unfortunately, madam and schools, yes, we need to develop that much more in our schools. We need to aggressively feed this software into that raw hardware. All the children are raw hardware. We just need to feed them with the right software. The programs will keep on running. They will develop themselves into whatever they want, but the basics have to be absolutely clear. Do we all stand for the national anthem? We do. Do we have that patience for those 2.5 minutes? We do. Why do we do it? You have to realize that we respect our country, right? Similarly, if you want good things about you, you respect yourself, you will develop patience. And developing patience is one thing that I want you to do. I hope that answers your question.
That's a concern. I request my friends who are watching this to be alert.
Is Janvi Ramtite, and my question to you is, can you explain the connection between lifestyle factors like diet, exercise and stress management and their impact on heart health?
Yes, Janvi, that's a really nice question. You're having a little bit of cold, right? Who is having? You're having a little bit of cold.
Yes.
Is that because of stress? A little bit, yes, accept. That is what the lifestyle that I'm talking about. Accept whatever is happening. Live in the time called now. At this moment, I am having a little bit of running nose. Okay. But don't be stressed about it. Don't feel tense. You are sneezing. I said bless you, right? So God blessed you. God did his job, isn't it? So lifestyle is these small things happening in your life, because small things make big differences. Remember that. Okay. So small things make big differences. You suddenly don't have to shift your lifestyle to become a very healthy person. First of all, you have to accept what you are. Okay, everyone has to accept what they are. I accept what I am. If I feel, that's why the competition is only with me. If I feel I am lacking somewhere, I will try and make myself to be able to do those things that I feel I am lacking in. Okay, if I am having a little bit of cold, I will go to the doctor.
Yes.
Take a little bit of treatment from him. But why did this cold happen? Was it stress? Was it infection? I'll try and prevent them both. Infection, maybe I cannot prevent. What you will do is increase your immunity. Do more exercise. Okay. Find out why you are having more cold. And then 2 years from now, no cold. Isn't it? No running nose. No stress. No ill health. Okay. That is how you should approach your life. So lifestyle changes. First of all, you have to realize that you need lifestyle changes, if at all you do. And I'm sure almost 99% of my viewers realize that there are some lifestyle changes that we need to do. Why do you need to do? Because yes, all of us want to live a healthy 100 years, right? Minimum 100. Okay, a healthy, my words were healthy 100. We don't want to be crippled at 50, barely surviving at 70, without memory at 90, and then leaving this world where no one cares for us at 100, right? So we need to have a lifestyle which will keep us both mentally and physically healthy. Okay? And for that, you just need to have small changes. Look, there are many things that don't require efforts, like coming to school on time. You don't require efforts. Okay? Just appreciating someone. Okay, if I am to tell you what good you see about him, yes, he has tied the button very well and his tie is nice and he has kept himself and his smile is amazing, isn't it? Right. You don't require efforts to praise someone. There are many things that don't require efforts, okay, which are very positive. Just thinking positive, it does not require effort. These are the lifestyles that I will suggest where you can make a big difference to yourself and the society. Okay? So, you are all Saint Patricians, aren't you? Find out what connects you all. The school, we are all Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar guys, right? Be proud about it. Tomorrow I want you to become a cycling champion of the world. Maybe. Why not? That will happen if you just have small changes in your lifestyle. So small things will make big differences, and that is what is necessary for all of us. For that you need to realize, look inside, explore the world inside and find out what you are lacking in. Teachers, parents, students, everyone are there to help you. But then you have to realize and then work on it. So a small lifestyle can make a big difference in your life is the message that I want to give you.
Thank you for our valuable insights, sir. My next question to you is, can you elaborate on importance of early detection and intervention in heart-related conditions, and how can individual be more proactive about it?
Very nice question, beta. You've been on a traffic signal?
Yes.
Right? So the signal from green to red or red to green doesn't suddenly change, right? What's the in-between signal? Yellow. So if there is green and you are seeing yellow, what do? You don't run through. You slow down. If you're on red and you see yellow, what do? Start slowly putting your gear and then increase, right? That yellow signal is tremendously important in medical sciences. Before anyone switches the signals, there is always an indication. Okay, only injuries, you fall down and there is no indication. Well, there is an indication which you have missed. There is a step which is not seen. There is your shoelace is untied and you have not seen and you fall down. So that's the yellow signal which you haven't seen at all. Similarly, in medical sciences, since I am here as a doctor, as a cardiac surgeon, almost 95% of the times there are indications that the person has a heart disease. Heart attack is only a culmination of all the processes that are happening inside the body. 95% of the time the person knows, the person sees or believes or sees inside him that there are changes happening which are not normal. So that is the yellow signal which is important. That is where a medical attention needs to be sought. Like today he was walking fast and he is not able to walk fast anymore. Yesterday he was lifting weights, he can't lift the weights anymore. Day before yesterday he was eating healthy, today after eating suddenly he is feeling something uneasiness. These are the different signs and symptoms which happen. Body will almost always give signals. Okay, you have all had fever?
Yes.
You suddenly don't have 102 fever, right? A day before that you are not feeling a little well, you are feeling not playing. The evening prior you tell your friends, nahi re, aaj main nahi aa raha hu, I am not going to play today. That is the signal where your body is telling you that you are going to get a fever, right? You don't realize that, obviously you won't yet. So in heart diseases, yes, there are always signals that happen. abnormal chest pain, abnormal sweating. The commonest mistaken thing is an acidity, but initially the acidity was related to food. Now the acidity is not related to food. I had a patient who had only jaw pain, because the chest pain may not always be in the chest. It is referred to the hand, back or jaw. This person had only jaw pain and she had seen 3 dentists. The third dentist luckily took her blood pressure, found it to be high, and then he referred to a physician, etc., etc., etc. She landed on my table, I operated, she did well, and after the surgery, within 2 months, when she came back, I asked her, was there a jaw pain? And she said, obviously not. So that was a different yellow signal, which was obviously misled. So any person with a disease will always have symptoms prior to that, and these are not to be neglected. So blood pressure changes, high blood pressure, low blood pressures, sugar changes, cholesterols, these are the, we all have vehicles, the vehicles need to be serviced, right? They are taken to the garage and they are serviced. क्या करके लाते हैं वहां, साफ करके लाते हैं, and things like that. So after 35, 40 nowadays, this recommendation was initially was at age 60, but now it has been in our journals at age 30 onwards. Everyone should get their medical checkups done every year at least once. Okay, so that's where you will be aware that there is something abnormal, and then you can tell to watch out for these symptoms. If there is a strong family history, you need to undergo certain tests for the heart, cardiac stress test, echo, etc., etc. And of course, the symptoms are not to be neglected if you have some risk factors. So chest pain, breathlessness, like feeling a lot uneasiness, breathlessness, heaviness on the chest, these are the symptoms which will tell you that there is a disease inside. Go to the doctor, see the doctor, get the test done and get the treatment done. Unfortunately, going to a doctor is not something that everyone likes, but then it is necessary. Okay, so do not be scared of doctors. If you have a need, you go to a shop very easily, then why not go to a doctor? The feeling of the social media nowadays is presenting doctors in a negative way as well, but believe me, 90% of the doctors are really nice and clean guys. Okay, so if you have any medical problems, always go to the doctors first. Do not neglect symptoms. At the most, doctor will say this is not a symptom of your body, it's in your mind. Forget it. You have had your answers, come back. Okay.
That's very helpful, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Kirat. The question is, what are the post effects of COVID-19 on the heart health and why?
Yes, fortunately at my stage, or I don't know, I'm probably not going to see COVID again. Okay, but you're too young. Maybe at your, this is a disease which can happen every 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, or it can repeat. It has been happening in the past, so it is expected to repeat. So you are probably going to see a wave called COVID in the next 50 years or 60 years or something like that. This time, this COVID, because of the progress in medical science, updating knowledge, you said, now we know much more about COVID. There was a similar pandemic called plague in my father's childhood. So at that time there was not much knowledge, but this time there has been a good amount of knowledge. So this COVID, we know that it was very bad because we did studies, we admitted patients, we got investigated, we knew that this was coming, and initially people neglected, nahi, COVID to iske sardi jaisa hai, right? ये तो कुछ नहीं, ये तो चला जाएगा. But then when it really started killing people, I'm sorry I'm using this word, but you are aware that there were many people who died from COVID?
Yes, yes.
So, and they were not necessarily unhealthy people, healthy people also died. So, COVID was a very bad disease. Why was it bad? Because, of course, humanity was not prepared for it. We were not prepared for it. Secondly, we underestimated our enemy. Ittusa virus, right? You are aware of a word called virus, right? virus, bacteria, okay, worms. These are the things that cause harm to the body. And then we thought, such a teeny weeny virus, what can it do? So we underestimated it, and then it showed its true nature. It killed a lot of people, but then it had its after effects as well. So your question was, what has COVID done? COVID affected the lungs mainly. But now that I am interacting with all disciplines, lungs and heart, of course, but there are people now, even in gynec obstetrics or ophthalmology, or ophthalm is disease of the eyes, or disease of the bones, everywhere COVID has had its effects. So post COVID, we have seen a little more increase in the number of coronary artery disease, as we call it, or the heart attacks. That was because COVID was affecting the arteries of the heart. You know, the heart is a muscle. It has supplying vessels called as arteries.
Yes.
And these arteries were affected by the COVID virus. COVID virus went all over. And when the virus was killed, that area became small. That area reduced down. COVID did not directly affect it did not directly cause a choke in the artery, but it caused tissue around it to become bad, and when the tissue healed, it reduced the blood supply. So in heart, it affected by decreasing the blood supply of the heart. It affected the lungs as well. But luckily, COVID is no more. Okay, we are all happy because we are sitting without. You have seen the masks, right? The fear, the PPE kits, all those face masks, everything. Sanitizers. I mean, we have water bottles, but there were sanitizer bottles which were kept. Okay, so we are beyond that era now. The effects of COVID are there, which will remain for a little longer, but in another 2 to 3 years, body again has won over COVID. Look, we are all fighters. We are all winners. So these 7 billion people in the world who are alive now, we have all fought COVID very well, and we have won the battle, right? So the effects of the war, as I can say, war with COVID, will remain for some more time, but there are no long lasting effects yet known. Of course, time will tell. I mean, it might happen that 10 years down the line, there might be people who will say, oh, you have become, you are having less memory. That was because of the COVID you had in your childhood. It might happen, but it's not true. But as of now, COVID is having no after effects, which are very long term. The short term damages have been there, which have been shown for 2 to 3 years. But we are now beyond that stage, and nowadays we are almost not labeling any disease due to COVID or as an after effect of COVID. So we are all nice and healthy again. Keep ourselves that way.
That's dreadful to hear, sir. My next question to you is, in a high pressure situation, how do you handle unexpected complications during surgery? Can you provide an example of time when you had to make a quick decision in operating room?
Yes. Nice question. मतलब डॉक्टर की भी कब हालत खराब होती है, ये आप पूछ रहे हो. अच्छी बात है. The attitude of handling pressure is more or less the same. Just because I am a doctor, am I breathing a different oxygen than what you are?
No.
No, right? So when madam is shouting towards you, okay, you have the same fear. The fear is the same. He loves animals, but do you have a brother or sister? You love your brother?
Yes.
The love is the same. The feelings are the same. There is a small difference here, like someone is going to be a pilot. When the plane is crashing, isn't everyone scared? Okay, the pilot is also scared, but there the pilot is also scared for his own life. He is also going to die if the plane crashes. I'm sorry, it should not happen. Here the difference is, if I am having a serious situation, my patient is going to die. I'm not going to die. Okay, that brings me even in a worse situation. Look, if it is a pilot error, he crashes, he dies, there is no one to blame. I mean, he is not going to take the blame. He is nowhere there. I am there to take the blame. So my attitude at this stage is I am more scared than the pilot at that moment in time when my patient is not behaving as I want to. Suppose I am operating. There are situations where the patient has a heart attack on table while I am operating. I am yet to complete doing the bypass. I am yet to open the bypass, and his choke is now becoming 100% and his heart is stopping in front of me. That does happen once in a while. It is the first thing that I have to realize, and I'll tell you why I am telling you is because this will help you. The first thing I have to realize that I am giving my best. Okay, the heart is stopping not because of me, it is stopping because of his own disease. I need to dissociate myself, I need to keep myself a little away. That confidence building, that it is not because of me, but I will give my best to make this heart good again, to make this, I need to give shock, I need to put the machine on, there are many things that I need to do. I will be able to do this only if I am able to think, and to be able to think, I need to handle the situation, as we call it, right? Okay, suppose you are lost somewhere. Fear will be there, but then how much importance to give to the fear? Like I'm taking your interview now. Are you scared? But then leave that fear behind. If you leave the fear, you're smiling, right? That is important. When you are oriented in now, if you are aware about what is happening now, only then you are able to manage your intense stress happening at that moment in time. Okay, so if I am in this situation which I have been, the heart suddenly stops, but then I have to complete. If I take 2 minutes longer, I know the heart is not going to start again, the patient is going to die. But then instead of 2 minutes, I try and finish that off in 30 seconds, leave the heart, open the blood supply, give shock to the heart, and the heart starts beating. So yes, there have been situations where I have been involved. I have always tried to keep myself calm and composed. Be in your own control. Okay, so you are asking questions now, but be in your own control. Madam is listening, you are recording, sir is around here, everyone is listening. So be in your own control. This is an attitude which you need to develop. Okay, so that can develop if you are oriented in time, that is now. अभी आप कहाँ हो, अभी आप क्या कर रहे हो, आपकी स्लीव कहाँ है, आपका पेपर कैसा है. ओके, आप देख रहे हो मेरी तरफ, आप रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हो, आप खड़े हो, यू आर देयर. इफ यू आर ओरिएंटेड इन नाउ repeatedly, that is the way you can counter stress as and when it comes. Then you will not have fear overruling you, you will overrule fear. You will be confidently answering your questions in your exams. You will be confidently doing things in situations. I mean, as madam mentioned, the 6th, 7th standard girl gave CPR. Why was she able to do it? She could have been in fear and do nothing, but she was able to counter her fear.
Because you taught.
Yes, because she was oriented. She knew that there is a person, her father, who is there, probably dying. She needs to give CPR. She was oriented in what is happening now. So the time importance, be oriented, be aware of what you are doing right now, be aware of everything. Keep reminding yourself, there is always a mind chatter. Look, 10 people here have their mind chattering. They are not oriented here, that's fine. But you are listening to me, right? You are oriented. Have this as an attitude. Have this as your personality. And then you will never have that stress. So your question is, yes, I do come across situations which are very serious, and yes, I can never be, and none of us can be, I am never God. Okay, so I have to be a human being, I have to be aware, I need to handle the situation. It is all for my aim, my focus is patient care. I have to get this patient out of the situation to the best of my capacities. So for that, three things: who is I, the word I, you have to be aware of what you are. To the best of your capacities, you need to develop your capacities, okay? And you need to be focused on what your intention is. If your intention is cracking the exam, you have to be focused on cracking the exam. Then you have to know who I am and what is the exam, and be oriented. That is what I want to tell you. So any situation can be handled well. Just be aware about your own self. I hope that explains.
That must have been challenging, sir.
Yes.
My last question to you is, on this World Heart Day, what message would you like to share to the general public regarding the heart health?
Yes, World Heart Day is on the 29th of September, which happens every year, and there are messages happening every year. I remember last year the message was women heart, because it was an assumption that women don't have heart. Not that they don't have a heart disease is what was assumed, but then it has been proven wrong. So the care about women heart was a theme last year. This year the theme is spread awareness about heart healthiness by using emojis. That was the theme. Okay, so my message is, again, having a healthy heart is going to survive and sustain everything. You want to be a doctor, what do you want to become?
I will become an army officer, sir. Army officer.
Army officer. Wow. So do you think you can defend our country with a weak heart? No. Do you think you can take care of the animal's heart with a weak heart? No. You also want to become something, right? Cardiac surgeon. Do you think you can become a cardiac surgeon if your own heart is weak? No. To achieve anything and everything, you have to keep yourself fit first. And keeping your heart fit will keep your body fit as well, because everything that is beneficial to the heart is going to be beneficial to your body. Okay, so on this World Heart Day, I would like to re-insist, repeat and reinstigate that diet, exercise and stress have to be kept under control. Okay, exercise is compulsory, we are forgetting it. Diet is absolutely necessary, you have to do it. And stress, we have to remain away from it. So these three will definitely allow you to achieve anything and everything that you have ever wanted in your life. My best wishes to all of you. दिल के पास तुम रहती हो, जीवन मीठी प्यास ये कहती हो, पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहती हो. Thank you.